we're live. So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Michael Keaton returning as Batman, which I think will be, in my opinion, really awesome. And we're going to be talking about also the Batman Suicide Squad vs. Justice League video game in the works. And remembering Joel Schumacher, the director of many great films such as Falling Down, St. Elmo's Fire, Phone Booth, Batman Forever, Phantom of the Opera, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera, and The Client, A Time to Kill, and of course the one film that just, I think, in my opinion, a lot of people harp on too much is Batman and Robin. So we're going to talk about Joel Schumacher. And it's kind of one of those things that I've been wanting to, talk about. I wanted to do an episode about him. I think I mentioned it once. I think I mentioned it once where I said, I wanted to do an episode defending Joel Schumacher. Defending his work and how a lot of people were wrong about him as a director. How a lot of people just harped on, Batman and Robin too much, and they just overlooked his entire filmography. Because he also directed Flatliners, The Lost Boys, totally forgot those two. I know a lot of people do. Yeah. He also directed 8mm. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. 8mm, where Nicolas Cage was in it, and Joaquin Phoenix, James Gandolfini. People forgot about that film. Number 23, which was kind of like, So, he directed a lot of great movies. I seen Falling Down, and I thought it was one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best Michael Douglas films of all time. Most people would say Wall Street, Basic Instinct, but Basic Instinct. I always say Falling Down was, I think, his best movie, in my opinion, because Michael Douglas gives an amazing performance as William Foster. I never seen Michael Douglas just go into a role like that. He just, he gives one hell of a performance. And Joel Schumacher can direct an amazing crime story. He can do a crime thriller that, is phenomenal. He did an amazing job with, The Client and A Time to Kill, Phone Booth, which was very, I think, it was very controversial when it came out, but it was really a very Alfred Hitchcock type film. But and Batman Forever was a really good film. Most people will immediately throw it in with, Batman and Robin, like it's, campy and all these things, but it just really wasn't a bad movie. It was a really good film. It made, its money back, Batman Forever. But a lot of people just go like, it's a shit film, But it wasn't. It was really, Batman Forever was a really good film. Schumacher made a very comic booky movie. Basically, he adapted a comic book into a movie. Literally. You look at the bright colors, you look at the dark shadows, you look at everything to it. He really did a fantastic job with it. Like, there's some scenes that were deleted in the movie, and there, of course, was a new photo released of Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face in Arkham Asylum. And it just made me wonder, like, was there a Schumacher cut? Was there a very extended version movie that we never got to see? And you have to remember, Schumacher came in originally wanting to do, an adaptation of Batman Year One. He wanted to do Batman Year One as a movie. And Warner Brothers was like, no, we want you to do a continuation sequel to Batman Returns and stuff. And that's where Schumacher basically did. He had to do basically a sequel / reboot, because Warner Brothers wanted to not have anything to do with Tim Burton's Batman, because people got pissed off and scared and did not like where Tim Burton was going. It didn't sell Happy Meal toys. That's what's important. That's what's important to them. Hello. Like, Tim Burton's Batman Returns upset children. It didn't make them happy with their Happy Meals. Thank you, love. Good luck. Thank you. That's what it was. It was just like kids were not happy with their Happy Meal toys because of, they saw Batman Returns, I guess. I don't know. But they just had to, like, do, Batman Forever in a very, comic book cartoony look, because also Batman the Animated Series came out in 1992. The same year as Batman Returns came out. So they basically had to do, what was popular with Batman was the cartoon, the comics, and stuff like that. So Schumacher didn't get to do Batman Year One like he originally wanted to do it. It would have been really awesome, in my opinion, if he did, like, Val Kilmer as Batman, Bruce Wayne Batman, Michael Douglas as James Gordon. That would have been that would have been a really good film, by the way. But, it didn't happen. So Schumacher came in and did Batman Forever. But the one film that sticks out to people, not St. Elmo's Fire, not Lost Boys, not Falling Down, not The Client, A Time to Kill, it's Batman and Robin. I never got around to doing an episode about discussing Batman and Robin. I feel like that the whole stigma of leaving Batman and Robin on Joel Schumacher has just been overdone. The guy sadly passed away at the age of 80 after a year-long battle with cancer. Batman and Robin was not Joel Schumacher's fault. It was not. It was actually the studio. Because here's the thing about it. What was the one thing that sold with Batman Forever? Toys. Action figures. Batmobile. Actually had the Batmobile. But when I was a kid. But toys is what sold for Batman Forever. And boy are they... I still, I believe it or not, I have the action figure set of Batman and Robin in the box and stuff. I bought it at a flea market way back. And I still have the Batman action figures of Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman, still to this day. It's pretty cool. But that's what sold toys to Batman Forever. And that's what was basically made for Batman and Robin, was that toys. But also, the movie was rushed into production. Okay, here's the timeline of when in the filmography. Batman Forever came out in 1995. The VHS came out in 1996. Batman and Robin came out in 1997. The movie was pretty much rushed in production quickly, because Batman Forever was a massive juggernaut hit. So, when Batman and Robin, imagine this. Batman Forever came out in 1995 in theaters. The VHS comes out in 96. Whammo, 97, Batman and Robin's coming out. Imagine how crazy that is. Nowadays they just take their time making a movie. Schumacher and company did not have enough time to work through the production of Batman and Robin, like they did with Batman Forever. Batman Forever came out in 95. Returns came out in 92, so they had 93 and 94 to get through production. Imagine this. Schumacher became director in, I think, 93. And he had a year to prepare for Batman Forever. He had time to go through what he wanted to do and stuff. And he had Tim Burton as producer, so he had time to make Batman Forever. But in 96, he didn't have really any time to make Batman and Robin. It was basically the studio, we want Batman. And he even said it himself, I think, in an interview, if they'd replaced me as director, they could have... it still would have been made. So, they really didn't let the dude have his own, time to work on production script. So basically they, the only good choices he did with Batman and Robin was he had Uma Thurman play Poison Ivy. That was pretty much the only standout that a lot of people universally agree that Uma Thurman was a great choice. But in my opinion, the casting was a great choice. And I always say, like, the director was a good choice. And I get a lot of looks at people like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I always have to point out, like, the films he did, like, you know, Falling Down, The Client, A Time to Kill, Phone Booth, Lost Boys. I have to point out all these films, these people, and really give a defense of Joel Schumacher as a director. And St. Elmo's Fire, you know. But the sad part is Joel Schumacher's career has been overshadowed by Bat Nipples and Batman and Robin. I mean, it's kind of annoying at times. You think about it. Like, I watched the movie Phone Booth, and he's the one who actually launched Colin Farrell's career. He advocated for him as a director, and Colin Farrell even said that in a roundtable discussion on the movie Daredevil with Ben Affleck, Jennifer Gardner, Jon Favreau, and Kevin Smith, that Schumacher was always advocating for him as, you know, to play the lead and to studios and stuff. Studios had doubt of Colin Farrell, and Schumacher's like, no, this dude has the it factor. That is a good actor and stuff like that. So think about that. Like, if it wasn't, I mean, think about that when you see him as the Penguin, or in the Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts film, or any film really. Just think about that. If it wasn't for Joel Schumacher, we wouldn't have seen Colin Farrell as an actor. So you have to remember that. And, you know, he directed Lost Boys, and watch Lost Boys 2 and 3 and be like, yep, Schumacher was right. Too fucking late. So, you know, for me, I you know, he did the movie Number 23, which was kind of odd, but Schumacher also directed music videos. The music videos he directed, such as Lenny Kravitz's Heaven Help, the European version, Seal's Kiss from a Rose, Smashing Pumpkins' The Beginning, The End is the Beginning is the End. Yeah, he directed Kiss from a Rose, the music video of Seals, you know. So, he also directed House of Cards, 2 episodes of that. I think that was like that's the last directing credit he got, was 2 episodes of House of Cards. Which is, you know, the last ones he did. But the last film he ever did was Trespass, which starred Nicolas Cage and Nicole Kidman. So, just remember, if you ever watch Batman and Robin, just remember this. He actually directed good movies after that movie. And I highly recommend watching Falling Down with Michael Douglas. That was by far, in my opinion, the best Joel Schumacher movie ever made. Because it is really a fantastic movie to sit through. And very, very iconic scene. Especially the scene where Michael Douglas requests breakfast at a fast food place. Where he says the customer is always right. That's a pretty iconic scene, so I recommend Falling Down for those who never watched a Schumacher film besides Batman. That is really good. But also Lost Boys is really good. Phone Booth, very, very scary. Keith Sutherland was, for a guy who doesn't even make an appearance in the movie until the very end, Keith Sutherland does give a scary fucking performance in that movie. Just using his voice. So, I highly recommend those 2 movies, but watch Falling Down. You will not regret it. So, let's get to the video games stuff. I really wanted to get the Joel Schumacher thing out of the way, because I talked to myself, about, I talked to like some listeners, I was like, about Joel Schumacher. Oh, thank you. And Joel Schumacher, I think it's kind of fun. It's kind of odd though. It's like a lot of people. I seen like Facebook comments that people were like, he made Batman and Robin. He ruined Batman. It's like he really didn't. He wasn't the one who ruined it. And he even apologized profusely for, Batman and Robin. But a lot of people just couldn't get over it. I mean, believe me, they made Batman Killing Joke animated movie. That movie fucking sucked. But, it's one of those things that I can't help but just think like Batman and Robin came out in 1997. A decade. Get over it. But anyway, video games. Batman Suicide Squad versus the Justice League video games in the works. A new Batman, as well as Suicide Squad vs. Justice League video game, is apparently in development at WB Games. Rocksteady, most likely to come out on the next-gen consoles, such as the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Are you serious? Like, really? It's kind of ridiculous that they're... A list of domain names has hit the net, offering WB Games is developing a Batman Gotham Knights game. Rocksteady is developing the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League game. Don't know how the hell that would happen, but... Batman Gotham Knights, a new Batman game, has been known to be in development for a while, as WB Games has been teasing the inclusion of the Court of Owls from the comics. Hold on. I kind of want to point out the Suicide Squad. They did do a Rebirth comic where it was Suicide Squad versus Justice League. What if they're making an animated movie of Suicide Squad? For like after the Superman Man of Tomorrow. Because remember, a lot of people remember that they did the domain name for Superman Man of Tomorrow, and a lot of people are speculating, oh my god, they're going to do a Superman video game, but it was actually an animated movie that they made. I don't know, Just kind of wanted to point out that one. I mean, the Gotham Knights one I could kind of see, but we can also assume that since the title is Gotham Knights, that the players could play additional characters than Batman, maybe as Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Catwoman, etc. More likely, Batman Gotham Knights is a Batman game, a Batman family type of game, my guess. Also, I'm guessing that it isn't a sequel to the Arkham games, as it is by WB Games, not Rocksteady. WB Games makes us use the Knights in the titles for the fans familiar with the popular Rocksteady franchise. Regarding the Suicide Squad vs. Justice League game, it looks like its title would be Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Rocksteady is known for the cool Arkham games it's said to be in development. DC Comics recently published Justice League vs. Suicide Squad comic, which may be sort of a test run for the game. It's kind of like one of those things that I kind of don't know if I want to see a Suicide Squad game. I mean, I look forward more to the Batman video game than anything. But, the Suicide Squad, I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Part of me thinks it's going to be a video game. Part of me thinks it's just going to be a animated movie. Because the title of itself sounds more like a animated movie title than anything. You know what I mean? It just kind of sounds more, The description of the comic may hint at the game story. Justice League discovers the existence of the Suicide Squad. This government-sponsored Black Ops team of supervillains which has bombs implanted into their brains, obviously a deal breaker for Earth's paragons of truth and justice. But you can bet that Wall and her Task Force X won't go down without a fight to the end of all fights. Is basically what Justice League versus Suicide Squad. It's a good guess the Suicide Squad game will heavily feature Harley Quinn. Of course it will. I don't know what to think. There's been rumors such as AT&T is in talks of selling off its gaming division to license out their properties. But I kind of call bullshit on it. Because, if you're going to make a Batman video game, you damn well know WB is going to be involved in that one, and WB is going to make a lot of money off of it because it's Batman. But speaking of Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman universe exists following the Flash rumor. News of Michael Keaton in talks of playing Batman has everyone excited, including me. Truly excited. I had like a Joker grin of like, this is gonna be fucking awesome. Like, Michael Keaton showing up as Batman. That is going to be crazy. It's like, in my head, I was thinking, like, if they're going to do this, if they're going to bring Michael Keaton back as Batman, you ought to bring back Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Sadly, you can't bring back Alfred. Michael Gough, who played Alfred, sadly passed away. But you can't bring back Jack Nicholson as Joker because Jack Nicholson is retired from acting. And Danny DeVito, can't bring him back because Danny DeVito, his Penguin died. But you could, in a way, bring in Billy D. Williams, because originally Billy D. Williams was going to play Two-Face in Tim Burton's third Batman movie. You could bring Jim Carrey in, because in Tim Burton's third Batman movie, Riddler was going to show up, but Riddler was originally going to be played by Robin Williams. So you could do that. You could continue on the Burton verse, but you could also, in a way, include Nicholson's Joker, just with hints of like the Joker card, or a newspaper clipping of the Joker, or you could just do that. But it would be cool though if you could just incorporate those villains in it. But one thing that was pretty interesting that pointed out was this wasn't the only time Michael Keaton was going to reprise his role as Batman. Back when Tim Burton was doing Superman Lives with Nicolas Cage, Michael Keaton was rumored to be returning as Batman, and just in one scene where he just shows up and gives Metropolis. I was gonna say Gotham, but he was gonna give Metropolis his speech of like, your hero has fallen. You know, the rest of the world is with you. Like this type of like motivational speech of like, yeah, Superman's dead, but you know, we're with you. I'm Batman, by the way. Type of thing. But in this one, it'd be so cool, like, to see, you know, Keaton back as Batman. Like, imagine how fucking crazy that would be. You know, I mean, he could still play Batman. He still has that crazy look of like, I will kick your ass even though I'm like 60. Like, type of look. But anyway, Michael Keaton which has people excited with a rumor offering the possibility that it might happen following the Flash movie. It's claimed that Michael Keaton might not be associated with the DCEU following the Flash, but he will be part of the Tim Burton Batman universe that will be explored in future films. Monday News about Michael Keaton and early talks saw a report that Michael Keaton might appear in the DC films as Batman, according to a new rumor by Daniel RPK via Twitter. It is not clear if those other DC films will be set in the current DCEU or they will follow the explorer of the Tim Burton Batman '89 universe. Yeah, a lot of people want to see him. A lot of people want to see him play Batman, but also kind of quit so they could do Batman Beyond, which I'm just like, fuck, really? Like, I'm sorry, like, if I want to see Michael Keaton in a Batman movie, I don't want to see him sitting in a cave directing this younger Batman to do something. Like, I really don't want to see that. Like, I want to see Michael Keaton do Dark Knight Returns. I want to see him. I want to see him fight people. Like, I want to see old man Batman beat the shit out of somebody. Like, I don't want to see him sitting in a cave and, like, you know, like, sitting there. Like, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people want to see Batman Beyond and all that, but I don't want to sit there going, like, see Michael Keaton sitting in a bat cave with a dog and just watch younger Batman beat up bad guys. That sounds boring. Like, I mean, I sat through 3 seasons of Batman Beyond, read the comics, which I enjoyed, but I don't want to sit through a Batman movie, you know, which says Michael Keaton Batman, and see him sitting in a cave in retirement. I don't want to see that. I really don't. Like, can I have old man Batman for once? Like, a couple films and, yeah, maybe do Batman Beyond? I mean, he did fucking Birdman. He walked around New York City in his boxers. Let this motherfucker play Batman. Like, let him. Let him play Batman. You know. I mean, imagine how cool that'd be. It's just like, you know, like, he's old, but he's Batman, you know. Like, I don't want to sit through, like, Batman Beyond. And, like, here's the thing about it. You have to, when you do Batman Beyond, you have to find the right actor to play Terry McGinnis in Batman. You have to. Otherwise, it would just be kind of lame. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, you know, let Jughead from Riverdale play, you know, Terry McGinnis. And it's like, no. I mean, I don't know who could play Terry McGinnis. I mean, you have to find the right actor to do it, but at the same time, I kind of want to see the Explorer old man Batman. So, it has been said that Michael Keaton will be taking on a Nick Fury type mentor role, with Batgirl specifically mentioned, and it is rumored is legit. It may mean that the Batgirl movie will take place in the Batman '89 universe, not the DC DCEU. I kind of want to see that one. I mean, if you're going to do Batgirl, I know this is going to sound crazy. Have Helena Wayne be Batgirl. I mean, imagine how cool that'd be. Like, have... I mean, like, it did reference, like, like, in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, I take it that's where they're kind of going with it, because Batman 89 universe was in it. Alexander Knox was in the cameo for Batman 89 universe. Earth 89 Batman, I take it. Like, I think that's what they called it. That Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne got married. It's like... part of me in my head when I heard that, I was just like, yes! Like, yes! When I saw that, I was just like... Like, I love fucking Batman Returns. I love that movie to death. That is, like, one of my favorite Batman films. And, I said this. If they're going to have Michael Keaton return as Batman for the Flash movie, bring Michelle Pfeiffer in as Catwoman, Selena Kyle. You have my money. Like, I want to see Michelle Pfeiffer back as Catwoman. Like, she could still go. And it's pretty funny though. I seen the Dark Shadows when the movie came out, and she like showed up in the scene. I was like, that's Catwoman. like I want to see that. I want to see Michelle Pfeiffer back. I want to see... I actually want to see Helena Wayne show up. I want to see Helena Wayne show up. I mean, shit, I would love to see... Not only that, but bring in the, grandkid. That would be cool. Like, you have Batgirl, why not have Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle's granddaughter become Batgirl? That actually doesn't sound fucking bad, actually, in my opinion. That actually sounds really cool. I actually want to see that movie now. This is pretty cool in a way, because I remember somebody was doing a Batman 89 comic, like when Batman 66 came out, which was by far, in my opinion, check it out, it's really good. I enjoyed it. And I remember somebody wanted to do a Batman 89 comic where it continues on from Batman Returns, and DC rejected it by, they didn't want to do it because, they thought people wouldn't be interested in it. I would buy it. So the art is on, I think the artwork is like on Google, and you just have to like type in Batman 89 comic. And it is really amazing looking. Like, it has like Billy D. Williams, Two-Face. It has, I think, Riddler. It has Penguin. It has Joker. Like, somehow, some way, like, the writer sort of like saves the villains in it. And Catwoman's in it. Like, the artwork's very cool looking. I think it's really cool. And it has like Robin, which was going to be like Marlon Wayans playing Robin. And it has like Barbara Gordon in it. Like, it's really cool looking comic, in my opinion. I would have bought it, So, anyway, Batman DC multiverse could be happening. It's also said again in a rumor that keeping Michael Keaton in his own universe would possibly enable the Robert Pattinson Batman to be introduced in the DCEU. Maybe even through the Flash movie, which somewhat adapting the Flashpoint comic, which I did say that once, that Ezra Miller could come back in the DCEU after his battle in the multiverse, where it changes Batman and his universe, where Batman, goes from Ben Affleck to Robert Pattinson, like some sort of change in the universe. Where I even said, like, in my idea, that they could age, keep Henry Cavill around, as Superman, Amy Adams as Lois, and in a way they could like in this change of the universe, it could be like Steve Trevor is alive, like Steve Trevor is in the current world, you know, because in the comics Steve Trevor is alive, and he's in Rebirth, he's alive, and I think he was brought in the Suicide Squad versus Justice League, something like that, and if I remember correctly, they could do that. But with Superman and Lois, they could bring in the son, John Kent. So I mean, you could do that and just keep Superman interesting in the films and stuff like. So, yeah, I mean, in that way they could, bring in Robert Pattinson as Batman in that universe, but it would be really cool, I think. According to yesterday's news story, The Flash movie involves Barry Allen traveling back in time to prevent his mother's death, which causes a creation of another universe protected by Michael Keaton's Batman. What really sounds like it will be happening is Barry travels to the Batman 89 universe, part of the DC multiverse, and that Barry doesn't necessarily create his own brand new universe. A speculation is also guessed which would be leading into a Batman Beyond flick, which I honestly don't want to see. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people want to see Batman Beyond, but I don't. With Michael Keaton as an older Bruce Wayne mentoring the young Cape Crusader Terry McGinnis in his Batman 89 universe, it could add into the Batman, if we can also add if that the Batman 89 universe is explored, maybe that means more from the likes of Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, take my money, or even Jack Nicholson's Joker, which I kind of doubt. Jack Nicholson, I don't think would come out of retirement to do the Joker, in my opinion. I mean, there's been, I don't know if it's true, but there's been rumors like Jack Nicholson's been having memory issues, like Alzheimer's or something, or dementia. I don't know if it's true. I really don't know if it's true or not. But the man, I don't think, would come back out of retirement to do a film. I really don't. I honestly don't think he would. I mean, he was offered to do the Shining sequel. He was offered to make a cameo in the Shining sequel, and he said no. Doctor Sleep, I think is what it's called. He was offered to do a cameo in the sequel to The Shining, which was Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and he said no, that he wasn't going to do it. He just didn't want to do it, basically. Which kind of sucks, though. I mean, they had an actor who sort of looks like him play Nicholson's role, which kind of was I kind of sat through. I remember seeing it going that's not Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson has that menacing look in the eyes and stuff. I don't know if anybody's ever seen The Shining, but if you ever watch it and you just see him smile and you just see that menacing look in his eyes, you're I definitely see why he played the Joker. I mean, I feel bad for Shelley Duvall in the movie, because she went through a lot of fucking shit during the making of that movie. That woman had a mental breakdown, which was, fucking tragic and horrifying. And luckily, I think Stanley Kubrick's daughter donated. I think Stanley Kubrick's daughter helped her, donated money, now to help her get the treatment and stuff. But it was it's heartbreaking to hear that. When you ever watch behind the scenes stuff, her and Nicholson went through a lot because Stanley Kubrick just did not. I don't know if it's true, but Stanley Kubrick just couldn't stand prima donna actors, which means Like if he was alive today, he would fucking eat those actors alive. He would actors today, like he would destroy their bubble. I think he would have so much fun just destroying actors' bubbles. Like he would just be like, oh, you're method actors, huh? Let's play this game. Like I think he would, but I honestly think he would just destroy actors today. Like he would just devour them alive like a lion. Like he would just be like, this is gonna be fun. But it was really funny to watch. Like, I mean, not the shining part, but just reading quotes and stuff, like hearing how he just enjoyed, making, I think as he put it once, making them earn every dollar they're being paid. Like, it's like, dude, I kind of want to see the behind the scene footages of Eyes Wide Shut now, because you know how Tom Cruise is. Kind of makes me want to see that now. But anyway, I think Nicholson will come back as Joker? No, I really don't. I think they would use. It kind of makes me want to see the. I remember in the Joel Schumacher's third Batman movie, titled Dark Knight, which was basically like one word. Because literally it's just like one word, Dark Knight, like DARKNIGHT, Dark Knight. It was going to have Jack Nicholson do a cameo as the Joker. Because in this movie, George Clooney's Batman, he was going to come back as a third It was rumored that he might come back as Batman, but there's also rumors that Kurt Russell was going to play Batman. I don't know. There was talks of like, I did an episode a while back when I talked about it, that in the scene, Scarecrow was going to be played by either Jeff Goldblum or Nicolas Cage. I kind of go with the latter. Nicolas Cage as Scarecrow would have been phenomenal. But there was going to be like a lot of the actors from previous Burton and Schumacher Batman films are going to come back, like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, Danny DeVito's Penguin, Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face, Jim Carrey's Riddler, and Jack Nicholson's Joker, and Harley Quinn was going to be in it. But Harley Quinn was not going to be the Joker's lover, but instead was going to be the Joker's daughter. And it was rumored that it was going to be either Courtney Love or Madonna playing Harley Quinn. So, in one scene, it was going to have like this nightmare scene where Clooney's Batman beats the Joker. The Joker was going to pop up in the nightmare and be like, remember me? Like, type of thing. And it actually was an interesting, I think that was like the one thing that stands out to a lot of people that would be interesting, was seeing Nicholson come back as the Joker in this nightmare thing where it tortures Batman. Which was actually used in the Rocksteady's Arkham Knight, actually. They took that concept and brought it into the Arkham Knight video game, where you had the Joker come back, which was kind of pointless and dumb, in my opinion. But I think once you kind of figure out who Arkham Knight was, you're like, yeah, kind of see the point. Why bring in the Joker? So, to me, it was kind of like an interesting concept. Not only that, but Schumacher really wanted to make this movie dark. A psychological dark thriller. So it would have been really cool. But Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, it's gonna be awesome. So let's get to the other news part of it. I hear my neighbor using a chainsaw. How cool. Michael Keaton, Batman Beyond rumored with Michael Keaton for HBO Max. With the talks of Michael Keaton returning as the Caped Crusader for the Flash movie, there's also been offering it may lead to a Batman Beyond series for HBO Max. The rumor comes from Mikey Sutton of Midnight's Edge YouTube channel, who offers that this isn't the first time Warner Brothers has talked about bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman. It's been claimed with the live-action Batman Beyond movie, considering in the past, but Warner Brothers felt like there wasn't enough interest to greenlight the project. However, it's said that it's changed due to AT&T. AT&T sees the IP rip of the 90s nostalgic with the full bloom near in the future, such as Space Jam. I'll be honest, like, as a 90s kid, I kind of want to see it, but interesting enough that AT&T has been greenlighting the Snyder Project, and a Brandon Routh Superman series is also rumored for HBO Max, along with an director David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad. Sutton says it's not only bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman, another way expanding the hugely popular Batman franchise, which would also provide a new concept for the content-hungry HBO Max. A live-action Batman Beyond has been talked about again, and it's for HBO Max, even though there's no development has begun, says Sutton. If there could be a net Keaton for it, it could possibly materialize greatly increases. I kind of want to see where it could go. I mean, here's the thing about it. This could... Now another thought came into my head. With them exploring the... Batman 89. I wonder what happens if they, bring in a different Joker. What if it's William Dafoe as the Joker? When I think about that, it kind of sounds really cool. But noted that things have been early development. Return of Michael Keaton as Batman remains to be seen, whether his return could be a one-off for The Flash, or whether Keaton could appear in other DC movies or be part of the DC multiverse, such as Batman Beyond. A Brandon Routh Superman series should happen, in my opinion, on that one. Just imagine seeing... I mean, in my opinion, Brandon Routh kind of deserves to play Superman again, because they missed so many opportunities with that one. So, Wonder Woman 89 sounds more like a Marvel movie. Wonder Woman 89. Wonder Woman 89 catapults Diana Prince and Steve Trevor into the vibrant world of the 1980s. Something arguably more like a Marvel movie such as Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor Ragnarok. It's revealed that the tone of Wonder Woman 1989, perhaps drastically different from the first movie, which fit into the DCEU created by Zack Snyder. The latest issue of Total Film magazine features an interview with the cast where Chris Pine offers that Steve Trevor is the complete opposite of the character from the first movie. I don't know, it's kind of different. I know it's meant to be a different movie, but I enjoyed the the first Wonder Woman movie. I thought it was really good. And it's kind of like, I don't know what it was. Like, when I saw the trailer, it just kind of felt like it wasn't what, the first Wonder Woman movie was. It's kind of like one of those odd things. It just felt like, I never understood the whole 80s obsession. Like, I get it, like, like the Stranger Things and the fucking Goldbergs and stuff like that. I just never understood the whole obsession with the 80s. I really don't, like. And now, of course, we're talking about the nostalgic 90s boom period coming in. Like, that's so 90s, man. Like, even for me, I'm just like, I'll admit, like, we had some cool shit in the 90s, like the live-action Ninja Turtles, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Batman the Animated Series, Space Jam, Freakazoid, which I'm surprised never made a comeback, actually. And, we had some cool shit, but fuck, do I want to relive all that? Hell no. Like, I feel fucking old just thinking about that. Like I really don't want to see it. Like, I really don't. Like, I'd be honest with you, I really, 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 really don't. Freakazoid, yeah, I would love to see that shit come back. That character, I'm surprised they never brought that character back, to be quite honest with you. Like, it's actually kind of sad they never brought that character back, Freakazoid. Like, he was kind of like this crazy, wacky character. And I'm surprised nobody really talks about that character anymore. It's kind of sad. It's kind of like the forgotten character now. Like, it was like the classic Freakazoid happened in 95 to 97. Created by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini. Developed by Tom Ruegger, I think is his name. Yeah, Bruce Timm and Paul Dini created Freakazoid, the character. The crazy superhero who battles an array of supervillains. Freakazoid he was once a geeky 16-year-old computer ace named Dexter Douglas, who becomes Freakazoid with overloaded chip inside his computer. He uses the catchphrase, "Aw, nut bunnies," and his image and freak out superpowers parody of Shazam. Yeah, I'm surprised they never brought the character back. I'm really surprised they never really brought that character back. I'm surprised that Warner Brothers never approached Bruce Timm and Paul Dini to bring the character back. Again, if you never seen Freakazoid, I really, really, really highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's kind of like one of those cartoons that I think nobody ever seen. Freakazoid was created by animator Bruce Timm, who previously produced the Batman the Animated Series, and Paul Dini, who was story editor for Tiny Toons Adventure, another good cartoon. Timm was called upon by Steven Spielberg, who Tim said liked Tim's Batman series to help create a new superhero show. After meeting with Spielberg, Tim said that Spielberg really liked his idea for a series, after which Tim and Dini created Freakazoid, an edgy superhero with manic personality. So, but however, I think there was there was also the Image character Madman, which was created by Mike Alfred. So, I'm surprised he's never done anything with Madman. I gotta check out that comic. That was actually a classic too. So anyway, I guess this is the wrap up of the show. Tomorrow we will read the Superman Lives script by Kevin Smith. I know originally we were supposed to read it Monday. No, sorry, we were supposed to read it Tuesday, and that didn't get to happen because yesterday was pretty busy. So I will read the Superman script tomorrow, and we will sort of talk about it and stuff like that, because I really enjoyed reading the Batman Year One comic. The comic and the script. The movie script was pretty hilarious and disturbing, and also get to peek inside the mind of Frank Miller. So we will read the Superman Lives script tomorrow, talk about it, and really sort of go over what would have been. So I will see you all tomorrow, and we will read the Superman Lives script. So I will see you all tomorrow, and everyone be safe. Bye. Hold on. I gotta check this. I gotta recommend this one. I seen this last night. Sorry, I know I was supposed to wrap it up and go, but I seen this one creepy YouTube channel. And I watched a video. I know somebody told me about it. It was this. It was on Leon Lush's YouTube channel, and I watched this one creepy channel. It's called I Am Sophia. Sorry, I Am Sophie. I never heard of it, and it started 4 months ago, and it kind of became a successful thing, apparently. And I ended up checking it out, and it is a very creepy. It starts out weird and cringy, then it becomes creepy and kind of fucked up. So if you're into that stuff, if you're really into this creepy ARG type stuff, I don't even know what it means. But if you're into a creepy story YouTube videos and stuff, check out I Am Sophie. I watched it, and it kind of creeped me out a bit. And I'm one of those people, I don't get scared easily. I don't get terrified easily. But I watched it, and it kind of it's very creepy. I'll just say it that way. It's very creepy. Um, Between that and reptilian videos, like those videos kind of freak me out. So I highly recommend the I Am Sophie. If you're into like the creepy stories, if you're into that creepy mysteries and stuff, like I recommend it. Check it out. It's the people I think who are behind it, like the story and concept and everything of it, really got into something really cool. Like I think it's like I love horror movies, I love mystery movies, and those are the two genres I really like, and the people who did this really, really did a great job with it. So I recommend I Am Sophie as one of those creepy mysteries. So check it out. It's on the YouTube. I Am Sophie. So check it out. I'll see you all tomorrow.